Gotta find that volume button. Yeah. Hi, guys. Lean over here, Mr. Hay. We're trying to do the vertical thing. A while ago, it worked out good. So I don't know what happened, but I want to do a few quick hellos. We have in the house, we have Joe, Bad Ideal, Richie, Madison, Maine, which we'll talk about Richie here in a little bit. I'm loving the Dark Witches and Mystical Misfits. I'm telling you, it's yeah. We'll get into that next week too. Then we have Papa Rouse. Hello,
Hey, Bill.
hello, Bill. Treasure Hunter Neil.
Hey,
hello.
Hey, Neil.
And Papa Rouse. Thank you for the $2. That's one toward our goal.
Hey, Cherokee Dad.
Yeah, Rick's getting on down through there. Yep. So let's see. I'm hoping a few more.
Hey, BNSLC.
Beth, hello, honey. There's MG Preacher. There's Josh. I beat you this time, Josh. And there's Lucky James Eller, Steven Stark. James. Hi, guys, and thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, be good to stay on track here, wouldn't it? We're trying this in the vertical, so Rick's got to get close to me. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Mark. Hey, Mark. Hello, honey. So I have got another great special guest waiting in the basement, guys.
Hey, Steven Starks.
You all know him and y'all love him.
Hey, James.
And I'm going to jump over here. I saw a few that need wrenches. Because, guys, I want you all to be able to check out each other's channels. Share out anything that you may have coming up, anything that you feel is important to you. And like I said, I've got Madison, Maine here, Richie. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, shoot. I've deleted that message. Duh. Delete message. Hang on. Unhide user. My goodness. I can't do a thing right. Let me see, Richie. I'm trying to find you, Richie. So hopefully we can get him back here. I don't know how to undelete the message.
Don't.
Remove. No, okay, well, whatever. Hopefully we got Richie back. So anyway, let me go back over to StreamYard where it's safe. All right. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I am going to bring up our special guest, get my book of interview questions. And y'all be careful because Rick's been studying too. But anyway, guys, I want to introduce you to an amazing person and a great content creator. What else what words could just phenomenal, okay? Just absolutely phenomenal.
I am not the guest this week. Madison, Maine.
Next week, Richie. Next week's your week.
Oh, who that?
Yeah. Remove the keypad from Angie, right? Yeah. Richie, that's next week, honey. Is that all right? So anyway, we've got Wayne down here. Wayne is, if y'all have not checked out his channel, which please do. Let me just go ahead and bring him up here. Maybe that'll solve this little problem we got going on there. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see his. You noticed Rick, he let go of me, right? He's like, get back on your side of the table. This man right here has got.
Get your mouse hand out of there.
What?
That's your mouse in his nose.
Oh,
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
thanks, Rick. Bird, hello, hello.
Hey,
This
Kenneth
guy's
Bird.
editing is phenomenal. The stories that he can tell with just a little video, it just makes you just gotta smile. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You gotta smile. And I have learned the man never finds junk. What do you call it?
It's usually alien debris.
Yeah.
Could be
Mhm.
could be spacecraft debris.
Yep.
You
It's
know,
alien artifacts. Yep.
yep, alien artifacts. Yep, I've got all kinds of names.
Mark said, never heard of this Wayne fella. He must be a new channel.
It must be a new channel, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
With his
Mark,
skills.
you can find me at Mark the Berg Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Cue the X-File theme song. Cherokee Dad says. Yeah. Oh. Speaking of like X-File stuff, didn't you go on an adventure with Shane and them a couple of weekends ago?
Yeah, we did, and I did a little bit of metal detecting with Shane. Had a great time. Shane's just an awesome guy. And then we went to Waverly Hills Sanatorium and did a paranormal investigation.
Stop. See, Rick.
See?
I so
yeah,
wanted to go to that.
Yeah, it was a good time. We're gonna do it again. There was there was a lot that we learned. Hey Tom, how's it going? How can I put this? It was Waverly Hills Sanatorium is kind of like if you're like a paranormal buff, it's like a bucket list place,
Mhm.
and it actually getting to go there and see it and actually getting to actually investigate it was just awesome.
Exactly. That's on my bucket list. And then down here we have the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
So I'm
just like
Virginia, isn't
3
it?
hours. Huh?
That's West Virginia, Trans-Allegheny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 3 hours from me down here. So yeah. So we want to do that. And then me and Georgianne was talking the other night, and we were talking about the Shawshank place up there in Ohio or something like that. Yeah. So and I actually
go ahead.
I went in and I printed out, like, from the West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky area, some good key spots to, like that, So it's like, yeah, you can ask my son or walking through history. We love do paranormal stuff.
Yeah, we're like paranormal buffs over here. I'm not going to say we're experts. I'm not going to say any of that stuff. We've only done a few, investigations, so we're not exactly professional, but we have some toys, and it's mostly about having fun.
Yeah.
Joe says, I quit going to sanatoriums and insane asylums because I'm afraid they're going to keep me. Oh, yeah. That's, yeah. I'm trying to see.
Hey, Kelly.
Wondering if you can put Rick on another device, vertical, like a guest. Probably could set his phone up and have him up there. We might try that next time, but we are trying the vertical, Grandma. I'm going to see what it does. You always learn from those that are better than you, right? So that's why I've got Grandma Kelly on speed dial, and that's why I have guests like you and Madison, Maine coming up, and then so that's the way we can all learn from each other.
Yeah. I talk to Grandma Kelly a lot. Our topics range from YouTube philosophy to paranormal radio shows to UFOs.
Yeah. Could you find West Virginia dollars? No, let me make that note. Let me find my pen. Wait a minute. I know I've got an ink pen here. Hang on, because I always take notes. And as Grandma Kelly says, you too can run a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
God.
I've been collecting a lot of footage so I can get to more videos. It's been a funny year for me. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to editing soon. I really enjoy editing. That's the part of the process I enjoy the most, actually.
I would love to get with like you and do like something like this, just like a private thing or whatever, a few of us together, and you teach us some of your editing.
Thank you, Grandma Kelly.
Thank you, Grandma Kelly. I tried to order James Eller a t-shirt that he won a couple of weeks ago. And we're like, we can't find it. Can't find any information. Can't find this. Can't find that. Well, apparently I did something wrong because apparently it didn't get ordered. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and I'll reorder it. So, hey, if I did order it, if it gets to, hey, And I put in my email address for notifications and mail to James Eller, his address, blah, blah, blah. And every time I go over there to purchase it, it'd say mail to Angela Hay at James Eller's address. So finally, I'm like, screw it. James, you're going to get a package from me for me. It's yours. I mean, it's like,
hey, Grandma Kelly.
Do that right.
Hey, Grandma Kelly, we're going to be talking about reptilians pretty soon.
Oh my gosh. So I have to, did you ever see the old-fashioned Land of the Lost?
Yes.
Did you not love the Slee Stacks?
Yeah. It's funny that my wife loves the old-fashioned Land of the Lost.
I tried watching the new one and I'm like, no, it ain't happening. Need to make food. Silver Assassin, Metal
Hey,
Detecting.
Silver Assassin.
Hey, Silver Assassin.
How many is it saying we've got in here?
12. I got 12.
Oh my God, and Rick has already hit the thumbs up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up, share this out, because I want everybody to get to know this amazing man right up here. So
Why
on to some
why is the
questions.
bullseye counter not working? That's what I thought too.
Is it not working?
No, because we got 3 of them.
You too can.
Yeah, you too can run a YouTube channel.
Yeah, because it said it had timed out.
Yeah.
And I guess from when
you're just yelling at it when in doubt, Yeah. Smack the computer.
I guess from the time I said it to the time, yeah, I thought, okay, whatever.
Yeah, whenever something doesn't work for me, I found swearing really loud tends to help. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to put this back in here. I don't expect anything. Let's see how this goes now. But anyway, guys, thank you all. We still know we have 3, so we get 2 more. But either way, I said if we get our goal, then we will do a fireside chat. And there's Miss Georgianne now.
Hey, Georgianne.
My late night buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, Georgianne was at Waverly Hills with us.
Yeah. I met Georgianne in Michigan a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've been to Michigan.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to Michigan actually.
He lived.
We do a meetup up there in Merrill, Michigan.
All right.
And so I think you're around Grand Rapids.
I'm by Detroit.
Oh,
yeah. Detroit.
I've been there, done that. You can have that place.
Yeah, you can have it. I will it to you.
Yeah, no, I actually told my ex-husband, I'm going back to West Virginia. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. And he
Yeah.
followed me. Yeah.
Hey,
Will do,
Rowan
Joe.
and Ringo.
Yeah, we were right down Southwest Detroit, right down. You could see the Ambassador Bridge from my backyard.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to work out in that area years ago, but I grew up in Northeast Detroit.
Yeah. So, what's up, Internet? Hey, Erica. Hello, hello, honey. All right. So, you heard me describing you and everything, but can you introduce yourself as if someone else were introducing you?
Ah, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and foes, our hero, the Fuzzy Sasquatch. How's that?
Yeah. His wife does voiceovers on some of his videos. And yeah, so, he's, our superhero. He's our, like I said, you would totally be entertained with his videos.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I actually spend some time in the editing process. I want to. It's my goal when I make a video. It's my goal to make a video that's fun to watch. Um, whether or not it's fun to watch, I guess, is subjective, and it's up to the end viewer. But I try to make a video that I would have fun watching.
yeah, I mean, and I can say I enjoy watching it. I really do. Um, so metal detecting, that's your main thing. So what inspired you to metal detect?
Oh man, going back to the mid '80s, mid '80s in Detroit. I seen someone with one at a park, and I saved my paper route money and bought one from Radio Shack. Played with it up until like probably late '80s, and then in the '90s I bought another Radio Shack one. And then I stopped for a while, started for a while, stopped for a while. My wife actually used to make fun of me. She used to call it a Geiger counter. Are you taking the Geiger counter out? In those days though, we didn't have pinpointers and none of that fancy stuff. We had like these probes, so you'd beep it and you'd have to stab the ground looking for it. And then I got out of it for a while because I had kids to raise, and a few years ago I started getting into it, and I actually started putting stuff on YouTube so I could share the videos. It wasn't I never intended to make a channel or to have anything. I originally intended to, just share videos, because if you ever tried sharing videos from a cell phone, it just sucks. So I did it so I could, get a link, share the videos to something, and people actually started watching my videos. So when they started watching it, I figured I'd make it worth watching.
Yeah, that's the same with us. I wanted to leave memories for Josh there, and thought, where else were they going to be that in 10, 15 years he wants to see them, so yeah. There's the medical detectorist. Hello.
Hey, metal detector.
What has been the furthest you've gone to metal detect, and can you tell me about it?
The furthest I've gone. So you're talking about traveling, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you could say Southern Indiana. Want to go more? I've detected a lot around the Detroit area. I've hit Southern Indiana a little bit last year, hit it again a little bit this year. I've always wanted to try hitting the beaches in Florida. That's another place I'd like to try to go. Maybe even some of the California beaches look pretty good too, but haven't done that yet.
There's my favorite abnormal. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
His other channel name used to be the abnormal clown.
Abnormal something.
Yeah. So I always tease him. He's my favorite abnormal person, because I'm abnormal. So hey, yeah.
we're all a little abnormal, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows what normal is anymore, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
abnormal the clown. That's what we used to be. Yeah. Um, what has been your biggest metal detecting fail, and what did you learn from it?
Boy, I would be hard pressed to say I ever failed. I just learned what not to do.
Yeah, because that's what I'm learning with metal detecting.
Yeah.
It's not really a yes or a no or a hit or a miss. It's all a learning experience. You know.
Yeah, in the early detector that I had, like when I was a kid, it didn't have any VDI. It didn't have anything. It was all just tone. It beeped, you dug. You know, that was the long and the short of it. Even now, like with my detectors, I'm not as scientific. Even though I've been doing it a long time, I'm not as scientific as a lot of the guys you see out there. Yeah, actually, here I'll show you. When I was a young man, I saved my paper out money and bought one of these from Radio Shack. My wife just handed it to me. You know, this one still works. You know.
There you go.
Yeah,
How
I've got
long is this I switched?
it. So, you know, and then it would just beep, and then I mean, now I've got a lot of detectors. I really don't know how many I have at the moment. Yeah, my wife says too many. So, you know, my my my
And wives
biggest
are
fear.
usually correct.
Yeah, my
Wives are
biggest
always
fear.
right.
Right. My biggest fear is when I die, my wife is going to sell all my fishing equipment and my metal detectors for what I told her I paid for them. So,
Oh Lord have mercy. Can't do that. Can't do that.
yeah.
Roman Ringo says over Rick's pocket to figure out if the beeps. Yeah, it wouldn't beep. I laugh at on some of our videos because I dig over here at our family's homestead,
Yeah.
the old farm over there.
I used to hang
And
out down that way, James, over by near Highland Park, actually, years ago.
Highland Park, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He had,
I was right down.
I didn't
I
mean
was
to
right
interrupt
down
you.
Fortin Green, so. But
Well, go ahead.
we do over at the family farm. So there's always some kind of relic, and I enjoy bringing it up because it's our family history. But I'm still a beginner, so if it beeps, I dig. Sometimes I dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, and it's like, okay, that daggone ground squirrel stole my trophies,
Yeah.
or something stupid like that. Or I'll come out with a piece of glass, or and I said, okay, my metal detector has now become a lie detector because there's nothing in the hole, or it now detects glass, because like I said, you don't want to say, oops, I messed up,
Didn't some of that old glass have some lead in it?
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. And I'd take my pinpointer and try to see if it would do anything. Pinpointer wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of it, like on my last ones, I mean, it was some thick glass.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows?
Yeah,
If you had one,
go ahead, Rick.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
One superpower, what would it be? Oh man, so I'd have to get rid of a few. You're telling me.
And how would you use it?
Did you hear what he said?
What?
He'd have to get rid of a few of them then, huh?
Oh,
Yeah. One superpower, what would it be, and how would I use it? Boy, let's think about this.
The wife says, learn how to do dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, do my laundry, boy toy. That's what she says. But I'll get back. Yeah. One superpower, I guess it would be to have X-ray vision, so I wouldn't have to use a detector.
right. Yeah.
Do you know how many bruises that's going to get you?
What,
Your
the
wife
X-ray-
will be backhanding you every time you looked up.
Yeah. Right. I
I'll be
promise
like,
it's
here,
for
Rick,
research.
put your blinders on.
Yeah, I'll just tell her. I promise it's for research, honey.
Yeah, I'm just doing research. There's
Yeah.
Miss Lacey.
Hi, Lacey.
Hello, Carl. Or Ellsworth.
Hey,
Hey,
Ellsworth.
Lacey's here. Bella,
Hello.
say hi to Lacey.
Mm,
Say hi, Lacey.
say you woke me.
There's Lacey's puppy. Yeah, okay, you can go back to sleep now. She's like, okay. They went on a car ride today, so you know, they're like tired. Can you detect any GM properties
Properties.
in that area
In your area.
or yeah?
GM like General Motors, I'm presuming, not general manager.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My general manager says I'm welcome anytime. But but no, as far as I know, I can't have access to the GM parties, but GM properties. But I am sure there's probably some old abandoned, places around Detroit that were once, steeped in auto history that you could probably do without raising too many eyebrows if you don't mind getting into a lot of crap, because that's probably what you'd find, a lot of stuff. I mean, but there's good stuff there too, so I don't want to discourage anyone. Anyone who detects knows you have to go through a lot of crap to find the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I know going up 75 there, I used to get off the interstate there at Fort and Green. There was I think it was a GM factory plant right there on that corner that's since shut down. Oh no, she's having seizures again last week. She's going to bed. Yes. Can you find Jimmy? Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah. There's rumors he's everywhere up there.
Yeah.
I think the last I heard.
Yeah. Every couple of years they're digging up someone's yard because someone said they found him or something.
Yeah. Last I heard, he was under the big civic center downtown, underneath the big statue.
Yeah, I heard under the Remsen. I heard under 696. Yeah, I heard under, I heard in backyards, and
Yeah. If you could be remembered for one thing, whether it be metal detecting or life in general, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would you want it to be?
That's a good question. I never thought of that. I would want to be remembered for somebody who tried to do the right thing whenever possible.
Good quality person. Yeah.
I mean, as humans, we all make mistakes. There's nobody that's infallible to it, but try to make the right decision when you can, and you should turn out all right in the long run.
Yeah. And never be afraid to admit if you were wrong. I've gone to some people and said, hey, I was wrong. Forgive me, blah, blah, blah. And so never be afraid to be humble,
What is your bucket list for this year?
Oh, my bucket list. You're saying I got a year to live? Oh, no. I am probably weird because I don't have a bucket list for things that I will find. I more or less have a bucket list for things that I want to go, or things I want to do, places I want to go. Like, for instance, Waverly Hills trip was a bucket list trip. And I tend to be goal orientated with a lot of stuff I do. So there's other goals that I'll set as they need to occur, and I'll kind of figure it out as I go.
Ellsworth says he's remembered as the fat, ugly guy with 5 sweet women. I don't remember him being fat or being ugly. So, Need a bucket for the bucket listers, Cherokee Dad says. Right? All right. Now, here's a strange but funny question, okay? Because
Okay.
most people think, okay, I'm going to grab a metal detector and I'm going to go out and I'm going to get rich.
Yeah.
What is some of the most underrated tools that are indispensable for you?
For metal detecting?
Yeah.
Most underrated tools?
Yeah. Some people say, okay, well, you really don't need this, but then you find out once you started using it, it's, really a necessity.
Yeah. Oh boy. Underrated tools. I didn't use a pinpointer for the first time till a couple of years ago. Up until then, I would, just wave the coil over the ground till I found something, and it'd take forever, and if it was something like a split shot sinker, you'd go crazy looking for that little ball,
Yeah.
Gloves are probably underrated.
Mhm.
I still never wear them. I got them in my car. I just never put them on.
I know. I mean, I usually keep them in my buckets and stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, maybe I should have put those on after my hands are all muddy. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I'm getting my wife's steering wheel all dirty on her nice car. Yeah.
James says he'd like to hang out with you. But unfortunately, he don't drive, though. So.
Yeah.
Mark put in here. Am I allowed to change my bucket list to a puke list?
Oh, that's not.
Grandma Kelly says Wayne rocks. He is fun to hang out with.
Thank you, Grandma Kelly. Yeah, you're pretty fun to talk to, Grandma Kelly. I got I talk to like as far as people in the community, I talk to probably Shane at Ohio River History the most, and second on that list would be Grandma Kelly. I probably talk to her the second most. Her and I have talked about just a range of subjects.
Yeah, I think it's getting to where me and Grandma Kelly talk maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
If we don't talk, we at least text twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't I haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks. Not since our trip. It's been hectic. I've had some personal things I've been dealing with. So it's just the way it goes sometimes.
There's your other paranormal partner. Speaking of,
yeah, Georgianne, we had a lot of fun.
I was sitting over here the other night reading, and my phone rings, and it comes up, Georgianne. I'm like, hello? She's like, hello? I can kind of hear in the background. And she's like, yeah. She's like, who is this? I said, this is Angie. Oh, did you call me? I said, no, honey, you called me.
Yeah.
Our phones just missed each other and had to connect,
Yeah. Either that or your number is the only number her pocket knew.
Yeah. She said her cat was messing around. I figured my name's probably first on a list and it's hit it or whatever. Must the butt dialed her. But we had a good hour-long conversation. So, it was a good mistake,
Yeah. Happy mistake.
To do that more often. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If you could have coffee or drinks with any historical person, who would that be and what would you want to talk about?
Historical, eh? Wow, that's quite a list I could think of. Yeah, I'd like to talk about radiation with Madame Curie. Boy, maybe discuss the principles of electricity with Tesla. It's another good one.
That's what I had him on my mind.
Who, Tesla? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I would, love to talk, political philosophy with Caesar, but I think there'd be a language barrier.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar, not Nero Caesar. you know,
Bye, Papa Roush. We'll be over to see you shortly, honey.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Bill.
And guys,
Yeah.
if you don't have Wayne's, if you don't know Wayne, I did pin his link to his channel at the top of the screen, and I think I put it in the descriptions. But anyway, it's there. Pizza. Yeah, that little Caesar.
Yeah, a little pizza. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
What is your favorite story to tell people?
This is a family show, so I'll have to think about that one for a second. So,
It's one of them stories when you're around the campfire at night and the beer comes out, and we'll talk about that one later, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, most of my stories are for after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I can come up with something.
What's the funniest story that your family would tell about you to embarrass you or to try and embarrass you?
Oh, I was still thinking about the story one.
Maybe I should ask the wife what's the funniest story she'd like to tell.
Yeah, she would. I don't know if she could come up with any. Let's see. She would probably tell a story like, I don't drink. I really don't drink at all, but I'm very good at it. So once upon a time, when I first started seeing my wife, many decades ago, I had a party to go to with some friends, and my wife's reminding me that they're all female. But, they brought me home good and drunk, and then she took me shopping,
Oh.
Yeah. So I said, I'm trying to keep it family friendly here,
Me and Rick was at Lowe's the other day, and I got so tired of waiting on him to make a decision between these two items, right? And finally, I just, because I got congestive heart failure and my legs was swelling. He's got a messed up knee, which we heard back from the doctor today. Yay. So we're both in these little buggies, right? And finally, I just went, he's standing there talking to one of the employees. And I just drove by and said, make a decision quick, because I'm going to go over here and you better hurry before I buy myself something. Boy, you should have seen him making a decision.
Yeah. Hold on. Someone, Bad Idea Lab, noticed my little map back there. Yeah. The little globe.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah, I think it says 1692 on it. It wasn't made in 1692. It's obviously a replica. But
that is nice. Cool. Josh, his room, I know most kids have like Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff, but no, when he decided to, I let him choose what he wanted. It basically had a scene like that, a border around the wall and then wallpaper, halfway up of that type of scene.
Yeah.
So I think y'all were time travelers in a past life.
Who, me? Or someone else?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe you and Josh both were time travelers,
Yeah. Well, technically, we are all time travelers. It's always moving forward, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. And there's Mr. Zaxxon. Hello,
hey, Zaxxon.
What's up, Zaxxon?
What's one piece of advice you can share with our viewers?
One piece of advice. know when to have fun and know when to be serious.
That's actually, believe it or not, that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause there's a time and place for both, you know.
Yeah. I learned that after my heart attack, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I learned that after I had kids. You know.
Yeah, I was always about, some people would call me a perfectionist.
Exactly.
Somebody would say, because I got, my OCD was acting up and all of this stuff. And then finally I got to where after I had my heart attack, I'm like, you know what? So what? The grass needs mowed. It'll need mowed after I'm dead and gone. So, hey,
Yeah.
And so we started to get out and have more fun and enjoy life more,
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a few
So-
days of rain, so my grass is gonna need mowed for another day or so before it dries
Oh,
out
yeah.
enough to cut. You know. So,
We've been having rain for about a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about every day for a week. It's like, okay, it didn't rain today. So if it don't rain tomorrow, I might get to mow grass.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
What are you the most proudest of in your life?
Oh, well, pride goes before a fall. So I would say I'm most pleased of other things. I'm probably what was that say? Expressions Outdoors. I hang out with.
Ron Piercy?
Yeah,
He's
a real cool guy.
cool dude.
Yeah. So the thing I'm most pleased of is that I was able to be married and raise a family and be able to have two kids that have grown and actually do okay. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would ask you what your favorite and most valuable find was, but I know she's in the room listening, ain't she?
Yeah. Yeah. She's sitting a few feet over.
I love her voice. I love
Yeah.
her voice. I really do.
Yeah.
So the two of you make a good team. I will tell you that, What gets you passionate? What gets you motivated? What gets you, like a better term, what gets your butt in gear about things?
This is going to sound nerdy, but I am driven. I am driven by learning things. I love to read. I love to pick things up. I love to do things. I have like a very broad. I have a very broad range of interests.
Hi, Brewers.
Hey, Brewers. So, what gets me going today might not be what gets me going tomorrow because, like, once I get through learning it, I go on to the next thing.
That's the search for constant knowledge, or the constant search for knowledge. Yeah. That is awesome.
Hey, Brewers.
Yeah, I said hi to Brewers. I want to get
Yep.
Brewers up here one day. I heard he's a good dude to hang out with too.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I was with him in Indiana for a little bit last year. We had some fun at Freedom Fest.
Well, see, that's what we was hoping to get to do more of this year, was to go to some of these different meetups and different events. Then Rick got hurt at work, and yeah, so he can't even drive right now. So that's why I couldn't come to Waverly, because drive all the way up there. It's like 4 hours up, 6 hour hunt, then 4 hours back. I'd have been dead tired.
Oh yeah, then
And
it's in the
so-
middle of the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up getting a spot at the campground that wasn't that far away from there. So after Waverly Hills, we went to the campground, and I slept for about 4 hours and then got up and drove home.
Yeah.
That was the easiest for us. I'll tell you, the Waverly Hills thing was probably one of the coolest things I've done this year so far. So hopefully we'll be able to do something else like that soon.
Yeah.
We'll get, next time we talk about doing something like that, I'll get you in the loop well beforehand. So if you want to do it, you can make the arrangements necessary.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was telling Shane. He said, "Oh, you'll definitely put me on the list of those two, And so yeah, because me and my son, we go when I do Florida for the winters, and me and my son, we love going to St. Augustine.
Mm.
And you talking about some creepy stuff that goes on, and
Yeah.
me and
Isn't
him
there
are
a
both
lighthouse there?
Yes, the lighthouse is there.
Yep.
And me and Josh are both empaths.
Mm-hmm.
So we can feel things. The old jail, like I said, the lighthouse. And then we did it's Ripley's Believe It or Not. They have like a little ghost tour thing they can do in the old hotel part. Josh was actually getting hits on his the EMF reader,
Mm-hmm.
and he would ask her questions, and he'd have her light it up and stuff, and she was answering him. And of course, this is all before we started recording for YouTube.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the tour guide is like, she's like, "Y'all have done this before, haven't you?" And I'm like, "No, this is actually our first real ghost hunt with these equipments, And so, which now we've gotten a couple of extra equipments thanks to one of our members that had sent us some equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something we want to get into doing more of,
Yeah,
And she tried to follow Josh home.
Oh yeah,
That's Rick.
crazy.
Do you see that, Rick? Show the dots.
So I got dots, right? And so
Yeah.
there was one point when we were at Waverly Hills, and there's footage of this, so I'm not just talking, Now, before I go any farther, let me tell you, I'm very skeptical. Very skeptical of a lot of that stuff. It's just my nature.
Mm-hmm.
So we were down there, Georgianne was there, Maria was there, Shane was there. There was a group of us, and I have the dots, and at the time the dots are in the room, and they're covering a whole big part of the room, because that when it's in a room they'll cover a big section of it. Shh, quiet dog. And we're in there, and the dots are going funny, and the lady's like, turn the dots on, and the dots turn on. They go off, and she goes, "I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, turn the dots on." And she goes, 1, 2, 3, and the dots turned on. It was pretty interesting. And then the battery died shortly after. So was it going dead? Or did something drain the battery? Who knows? I will tell you, I charged it the day before at my hotel room. So,
yeah. The theory has it that when a spirit uses that, it will drain the batteries. Josh is like, dots? Yeah, that's something me and Josh have been wanting to get, something like that. We want dots.
Yeah. 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 I've got 2 sets of the projectors now. I only have one for Waverly's, and then I end up getting another one. I'm not sure what that means, but I agree.
That's Miss Lacey typing. She's one of his, Miss Lacey. That's one of Ellsworth's special needs daughters.
Okay.
And she comes in and says hi to all of us.
Oh, well, hello there.
And but Josh says, yes, of course, the only women who shows interest in me have been dead for 100+ years.
No, I did not. I did show the orb to the lady that the orb was around when we were at Waverly Hills, Georgianne. But I did have it. I still haven't, Georgianne, I still haven't gone through all my footage yet. I've had a lot going on in my home life the last few weeks, so I have barely scratched the surface of the footage I've got recorded.
See, now that's what, you was talking about being skeptical and stuff. Yeah, I used to love to watch a lot of these ghost hunting shows, but it's like, don't show me, just don't like, oh, can you feel that? Can you feel it? No, I can't. Show it to me, and that's
Yeah.
that's me. You know, I can't. It's not that I don't believe people, but it's got to be people I know. Now, if you said, "Oh, I've got goosebumps," then I would trust you've got goosebumps, or you
Yeah.
felt air, cold air. And don't come on a TV show where people don't know you and say, "Oh man, did you feel that breeze? Oh, it got cold in here." Well, prove it to me. I'm that type. Prove it to me.
Yeah.
Georgia and Wayne have cool equipment.
Yeah,
but-
we did have equipment with us. Yeah, and that's it too. Hold on a second.
I'm like Jackson. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I don't trust you.
Hold on a second. My dog's being stupid. He's yelling at the puppy right now. Did you hear him?
Oh, we've got two. We know how that goes, especially
Yeah.
around dinner time.
Yeah.
But Bella, she doesn't usually eat unless she's afraid Kane's going to get it. But tonight, Rick said, if you want to go on YouTube tonight, you better eat. And the stupid dog ate. No hassles, no nothing.
Yeah. But the thing is like I'm skeptical. So when I find something, I try to figure out what could cause it. It's just my nature. I'm not saying nothing exists, and a lot of times when people say they feel stuff or whatever, you probably believe them, but you can't really quantify feelings. So because they're feeling something, they probably do. But is it what they think it is? Who knows? Without a way to quantify it, it's just without a way to quantify it, it's basically just a story.
Yeah. Well, see, that's like even me and Josh, when we were getting the EMF readings, we were like checking the walls. We were looking for outlets. We were looking to see if there was anything electrical or anything that might have been magnetic or anything that could have been setting it off, And it's like once you realized, hey, I can't find anything and it moves when I move, there you go. See, that's what we got.
Yeah.
So, it's just after you've done crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's, and then you still come up with it. It's like it's a possibility.
How do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered?
Yeah.
I guess as a like to be remembered probably as a fair person who tried to do the right thing in most instances. There's always room for error. So, you can try to do the right thing, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way,
What channels influenced you and your YouTube channel?
Oh boy, there is a lot of channels. I will tell you, as far as metal detecting channels go, you had him on last week. B. Higgles easily has one of my favorite metal detecting channels. It's the energy he brings when he's doing it. You can tell he's happy. You can tell he's excited. Just getting into it. It's a lot of fun to watch. I think
that's what I told Rick. I said his energy is contagious.
Yeah, he's got just a great energy about his videos. So, but if you talk about influence, I take my influence from a wide range, just not like metal detecting videos. So, a lot of it, I look at like a lot of shows like Coast to Coast. I'll look at their YouTube site, and then listen to their subject matter, and that's where I'll get like the inspiration for some of my animations. Just because it's fun, Y files, watch, get some inspiration for the storyline and the animations I'm throwing in with the videos. A lot of what I want to do, like I said, is to primarily have fun with my videos. If somebody watches my video and has fun watching it, then they got what I was trying to do in that, because I'm more about the creative aspect of it than the seriousness. There's a million of videos out there that are great where the people are doing great stuff and doing good things, but I like to be a little different.
Yeah, and I noticed with with like your little aliens and all that stuff, it's cleaning up the environment, and it's funny though because like that's what I take from it. You know what I'm saying? And you got your little alien guys, they're like, cheering you on or supporting you for helping to clean up the universe or whatever. That's my take on it. And I love it. I really do.
Yeah,
Especially the one series you had where you had the series like, oh, they lost they needed parts for their spacecraft, stuff. It's like right. I find myself looking at that going, that could be,
Yeah.
I know. I'm you open up the rabbit hole, I jump in. Just call me Alice, okay?
Yeah. I've got the I've got the next animated sequence for my next video already done, because I did it all like in a story, and I'm going to break it up in a little like 10-20 second intervals and just place it in the videos like little cutscenes, like they do with video games. Some people watch it and they go WTF, and other people watch it and they go, wow, this is great.
So Grandma Kelly says, ha, Wayne, you can't help but be a little different. You are a little different. That's what, like most about you. That's what I think we all have to be a little bit different. We all have to have a little spice to life, And Ellsworth said there was a UFO landed it there in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Pittsburgh. I can't pronounce that one. So we have come up on our hour. So
wow, that was fast.
Closing, I know, right? I'm gonna have to start doing these a little earlier now that Rick's not working. Maybe we can start doing them a little earlier.
Yeah.
So in closing, what are 3 channels that you would recommend, and they don't have to be metal detecting, that you think our viewers would be interested in, learn from, or whatever?
3 channels. Well, I would recommend B. Higgles, for metal detecting. And if you're into video game, I would recommend Shane's other channel, Papa Bloods.
Blood, yeah.
Yep.
I love watching them guys.
Yeah, that is a great channel. I like to watch the shorts when he puts them up. He gets killed by a
Mama G, hi, honey.
Hey, Patricia G.
Yeah, and another channel that I watch that is not related to metal detecting or anything, but it's just a fun show to watch, I'll tell you, is the Y-Files.
The Y-Files. I'll have to watch those.
Yeah, the Y-Files. He's got a little animated fish. He calls it Hecklefish. That'll all make jokes about it. They'll cover all those like little conspiracy things, and they'll kind of make fun of them, but talk about them serious and make fun of them. It's just a fun show to watch.
Yeah. That's like people think, I sit around and watch metal detecting or magnet fishing or, which I do watch some of your all's channels, but I also watch like especially at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed or whatever, I sleep because I got tinnitus. So if I can sleep with the earbud in, it helps me sleep.
Yeah. I got tinnitus too.
Yeah. So I'm listening to like Mr. Ballin, some of his crazy stories and stuff, and what's that one, Scared to Sleep or something. Just some of these stupid off the wall channels that people are going like, really?
Yeah, Mr. Ballin's a lot of fun. What about like the In Between? Have you seen the In Between?
No.
Yeah, the In Between's a lot of fun too. Yeah, she's a lot like Mr. Ballin.
Yeah, that's matter of fact that his book is on my Amazon wish list, and then my son told me yesterday he's actually coming out with a second book. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah. So yeah, we do all of those.
Well, and then What Lurks Beneath is another good one. Like if you like
That-
Mr. Ballin, you'd probably like What Lurks Beneath and the In Between too, because they're both very similar in content.
I think I've seen that What Lurks Beneath. I think I've seen that one too. But
Yeah.
so yeah. But guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to get off here. And so what is the one thing you would like to tell us? What is something that we might not have covered that, something about you that you would like for us to know?
Well, I think we covered a lot of good stuff. But if I could tell you anything, I'm going to borrow something a little bit from Jersey Ray and tell everybody to be kind to each other.
Yes. Be kind to each other, be good humans.
Yep.
That is, and like on our shirts and our logos say, one of my mottos is, adventures await, get and make your memories, because memories are the one thing you're guaranteed to leave behind.
Yes.
So
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, it's funny that you say that because I'm pretty goal orientated, and I am thinking about buying something, an existing business. I'm at a crossroads. I'm still not sure if I want to buy it yet or not. So it could go either way, It could either be the same place where I am now, or I could be somewhere else. It really depends on what I decide to do.
Yeah, that's amazing, because that's going to be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
To see where he goes from here, So Josh, can you go over and get Papa Roush's link for me? I'm on the computer. See, look now. She knows when I mention Papa Roush, she knows I'm at the end of the channel, at the end of the show. She's like, "What? Okay, This dog is such a diva." But matter of fact, I think I can. I'm hoping Josh can get that. Oh, right there it is. I should be able to do this. Oh, let me. Uno momento. Got it. Think I got it, Josh. I think this is Papa Roush's live. So, guys, we're going to say good night from here. And matter of fact, Madison Main is over at Papa Roush's now. You all know him from over there. He will be up next week. The following week, we have decided to make the last Tuesday of each month members night. So we will sit like we usually do a one-on-one chat with our chat. We just have like a little family reunion get together like we usually do. And we will give away a members gift. And then we'll also be giving away a chat gift. So there'll be 2 gifts to give away at the end of each month, because we want to show appreciation to our members and also those that come each week and say hi to us and hang out with us and all that good stuff. And you never know, maybe later on we can take the guys from our interviews and we'll put them, maybe after 3 months, put them in there and give them a gift. We'll do a drawing and give one of them a gift. So it may be just a stupid sticker of us, but not. But as you can see, my new sticker board needs stickers. So, yep. So guys,
I got to get some stickers made.
Yeah, I got to get some more made too. But yeah, guys, Wayne, I'm telling you what, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you at Waverly. but I'm so glad we got to meet you tonight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
tell the missus I enjoy her being on the channel with you like that. I really do. I mean, it's, like I said, he is usually the quiet one and would never do this before. So him coming up and asking you questions,
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thank you all, and we are going to jump off of here. And Wayne, stick around so I can say goodnight to you and everything.
All right.
Guys, like I said, go out, make your memories, guys, because that's the only thing you've got guaranteed to leave. Like he said, be good humans, be nice to each other. And my dog is hitting my thingy. All right, so she just like everything went away.
She said we're done.
Yeah, she's like, let me end this. Pow. So, I love you guys, and we'll see you all next week, if not sooner.
Yep.
Bye, guys.